Back on the Marion General Hospital pregame show, catching up with Taylor men's basketball head coach Josh Andrews before they wrap up the home portion of the regular season schedule today on Senior Day against Grace. The Trojans come in dropping 3 games in a row. Tough one last Saturday against number 11 Bethel. You guys played one of your better games of the year and it just got away from you there late. But you guys have had a week now to fix what went wrong Saturday. What have you guys tried to fix from last Saturday?
Not a whole lot. We liked the way our guys played Saturday. Some defensive possessions we'd love to get back. You try to replicate those or just reteach this time of year things that we want to do that can save us a possession or two. And this league has always been that way. You get down to a possession or two. We missed a few front-end one-on-ones and had a chance to win the game, put ourselves in a position to win the game. So I was very proud of the guys. We were proud as a staff of what they accomplished, and just didn't come out on the side of the scoreboard we wanted to. So we've had a good week of practice. It's tough this time of year, take a week separation, but we weren't able to fill a non-conference game that we would like this past week. So we got practice in and got a little bit better, and I think the guys are energized and ready to go.
Vincent Miranda was stellar there in the second half. 18 points of his 19 came after halftime. He came into that game shooting just 25% from the floor. He goes 6 for 10, including 4 of 7 from 3. He enters the day just 17 points away from 1,000 in his career with 2 games left on the regular season schedule and at least 1 game in the Crossroads League tournament. It's his senior day along with James McLeod. What would it be like if you could see Vincent get 17 on the board and get 1,000 on senior day?
Yeah. He had an awesome second half. It was fun to see, him just have that moxie and shoot it in, and guys finding him. He got hit for a couple strikes, and knocked it down. It was really cool. Just a great senior leader and teammate, and guys. When you're a senior, you play 4 years in the program. You touch a lot of different classes, so just a lot of guys know what type of young man he is, the fiber he is. Same for James. And for Vincent, I know I can speak for him. He'd rather get a win than get to 1,000, but we'd be tickled for him if he did. Just want him to continue the play that he had second half Saturday. If he does, we're going to be a tough out any game here.
These two have been through a lot in their 4 years. You and I were talking yesterday that it's gone by really fast for the 4 of them. I mean, it feels like Vincent was here with the mullet, just a week ago, and now he's finally coiffed and everything else. But what's it been like to be their head coach the last 4 years and watch them go through all these ups and downs throughout their careers?
Yeah, not been the easiest 4 years. We've had some real highs and some real lows. They've been, in a sense, kind of glue for the program right now. The program probably feels a little bit different, just with less familiar faces for a lot of the fans and those connected to the program, just playing a little bit new and fresh. And these guys have blended that, but what's been the same is their character and toughness and their everyday approach. And so they are unique roommates and best of friends, and just that they are poster children for just the toughness and the brand we'd like to have here. They are awesome teammates. They're great men on and off the floor, play so hard and so committed to the things we do. They're really easy to coach. So they're just easy guys to brag on and praise, and they're going to represent our program really well for a long time. And they've influenced our guys. Our guys love them. So I'll miss them greatly, and so thankful for the investment they've made.
You come into the day 8th place in the Crossroads League. All 8 teams are already secured into the league tournament. You're a game back of Grace, but you're already beaten once this season. But you're only 2 games back of Huntington, who's all the way up there in 4th or 5th. It's kind of a crazy time in the league standings. Is it something that you talk about with the guys about how with 2 games left, you guys can vault yourself way up the standings even without help?
Yeah, we need to. No, we don't, because it puts just that added pressure. I think the guys, they're very aware of where things stand. And they put themselves there by winning 5 games, and it matters. Obviously, we'd love to win more, but you got to, little by little, and you got to put yourself in a position to win every game. So we talk all the time with 4 minutes to go in the game. We won't have a chance at it, and we've got to continue to put ourselves there. And today will be no different. We got to take care of the ball. We got to play. We got to match Grace's physicality and size and presence around the rim, and kind of the smash mouth play that they're accustomed to and known for. And if we do that, we've got a great chance today, and we will until this thing is done.
The Lancers are 13-10 this year, 6-8 in the Crossroads League, but they've lost 3 games in a row in 5 of their last 6. And in 2 of those games, I'm sure they would feel that they were right there in it, particularly the most recent one, Wednesday against Marion. They are so front court heavy. Is that kind of a different team to get used to? Because normally in the last couple of years, we talk about the best players on a team as a wing player or a guard, but they are forward front court heavy. They got some big guys up front.
Big, physical, powerful. And then they bring guys in off the bench that are big, physical, athletic, and powerful. So they come at you in waves. They get to the free throw line, they pound the glass. When Malone gets going around the rim, he's just a huge post and powerful. So that's a real challenge. We've got to be gritty and tough. A lot of fundamental things have to be sure today. Boxing out, playing the game low, being strong in the paint with the ball. And we'll have to do that to have success today. But we did it there, and I know it's a few months ago, but I think our guys know what they've got to do to win. And while they're a front court heavy and they're bigger, we've got good length and size at a lot of positions. So I think the matchup is a good one today.
Josh, has been a weird year, but you've had a year, and you're getting close to the end of it, so thank the Lord for that. Thanks for all the time this season. Hopefully, we get another redo like we had last year. We're getting another league tournament home game, but if not, thanks for all the time this season.
Yeah, I think we both like that. Yeah, we're very grateful for the season and appreciate it, Rick.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Yeah, our first year doing Day of Giving was an incredible success last year. We were able to raise over $60,000 that went directly to our individual programs. And that's been the goal of it from the beginning, is giving our alumni, parents, supporters a chance to give directly to the teams that have impacted their lives. So we're hoping for an even bigger day this year and even more participation. I think I was pleasantly surprised at just the number of people who gave. Not everybody is writing a massive check, and we know these are difficult times, but just to see the number of people, the number of young alumni that gave anything. They gave $5, they gave $50, they gave any amount of money, and I think it just, for all of our coaches, I think I speak on behalf of everyone to say we're just proud at the engagement and the number of people that just wanted to be involved. And we have some competitions here in the department of the highest percentage of alumni that give. We have a bonus for those sports, and I think that's what it is. It's just instead of kind of asking at different times or having people send stuff at random times, it's like, hey, let's just pick a day and let's ask people to be a part of it, and it's something we can all do together.
Back here inside Odell Arena, it is now time to turn things down to the scores table to get ready for today's Senior Day festivities.
Today's crossroads game between the Grace Lancers and your Taylor Trojans. Before we begin today's game, we'd like to take a few moments to recognize our two seniors and their families for their contributions to the program throughout their time here at Taylor. Over the past 4 years, Vince Miranda and James McLeod have helped the Trojans to 55 total wins, with 32 victories here at Paul Patterson Court, and 13 victories over teams ranked in the NAIA Top 25. Miranda and McLeod have also helped Taylor's men's basketball team post a team grade point average above 3.0 in each of their 4 seasons. As we read each individual's name, we ask that they walk with their family members to the center of the court to be recognized. First, we'll start with Vincent Miranda. Vincent is joined by his parents, Martin and his fiancée, Emily. Vincent is set to graduate this May with a degree in biochemistry and plans on attending MBB at the University School of Medicine in South Bend in the fall. During his 4 years with the Purple and Gold, Vincent has started 47 games and played 115 total entering today's action. The sharpshooting guard has caught up 983 points, highlighted by 183 makes from beyond the arc, while shooting at a 37.6% rate from deep. Miranda is currently posting career highs in scoring, assists, and rebounds this season, and has started all 22 games for Taylor this year. Vincent has excelled in the classroom as well, being named a COSIDA Academic All-District, an NAIA Scholar Athlete, and Academic All-Crossroads League Performer for his academic excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, Vincent Miranda. Next is James McLeod. James is joined by his parents, John Winter, and his brother John. James is also set to graduate this May and will earn a degree in management and marketing, with plans to join Eli Lilly and Company as a pharmaceutical sales representative this summer. James has played 115 games for Taylor in the past 4 years, starting 80 times, and has started all 22 outings for the Trojans this season. James is enjoying his finest year with Purple and Gold after showing improvement during every season in Upland. The athletic forward is currently posting personal best in scoring, assists, blocks, and steals per game. In addition to his work on the hardwood, James has received COSIDA Academic All-District, NAIA Scholar Athlete, and Academic All-Crossroads League recognition for success in the classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, James McLeod. Today, we are also celebrating one senior from the TU cheerleading squad, Kirsten McIntosh. Kirsten is joined by her mom, Abby, and her fiance, Isaiah Swain. Kirsten graduated in December with a degree in psychology and plans to get married this summer before beginning graduate school for school counseling. Taylor's head cheerleading coach, Hannah Kirby, had this to say about Kirsten. Kirsten has played an integral role on the Taylor cheerleading squad for the past 4 years. The work that Kirsten put into the cheerleading team came to fruition this year, as cheerleading has been named an official varsity sport at Taylor University. This would not have been possible without Kirsten. She's hardworking, encouraging, and an incredible teammate who loves God and loves others. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirsten McIntosh. Please join me in giving one more big round of applause for all of our seniors.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
First, our visitors from Grace. Starting at guard, 6'5" freshman number 3, Jacob Gibbs. At forward, 6'5" senior number 10, Aiden Eaton. At forward, 6'5" freshman number 20, Jake Watt. At forward, 6'7" sophomore number 32, Frankie Davidson. And at center, 6'9" freshman number 50, Elijah Malone. The Lancers are coached by Scott Moore and assisted by Jordan Weiner, Stephen Halstead, and Marcus Moore. And now, Trojan fans, get on your feet for the starting lineup, your Taylor Trojans. Starting at forward, 6'6" junior from Andrews, Ohio, number 0, Jason Hubbard. At guard, 6'4" freshman from Littleton, Ohio, number 15, Aiden Berlin. At guard, 6'1" senior from MBB, Indiana, number 23, Vincent Miranda. At forward, 6'5" senior from Lawrence, Indiana, number 31, James McLeod. And at forward, 6'7" junior from Livingston, Ohio, number 35, CJ Pena. Your coaches are coached by Josh Andrews, Mrs. Fox, Aaron Larson, and Steve Dorkin.
Oh, we've got some juice in the building on a Saturday afternoon here inside Odell Arena, and we've got a good one coming for you between two teams that need a win today to stay out of 8th place in the Crossroads League standings. Today, Grace a game up on Taylor for that 7th place position, and everyone wants to avoid Indiana Wesleyan in the league standings, but the Trojans defeated Grace earlier this year, so with a win today, Taylor would sweep the season series and have the tiebreaker over the Lancers. Elijah Malone and CJ Pena will jump. The headband is on for CJ, and he wins the opening tip. It goes between McLeod's legs. His senior classmate Miranda scoops it up, and Taylor has the opening possession from left to right. Trojans in white with purple numbers and purple letters in the gold trim. Grace opens up in a man-to-man. They played predominantly zone against Marion in their loss Wednesday. Flip back, McLeod, Furman 3, and a hot start as Furman buries a triple on the opening possession. Furman struggled to shoot last Saturday against Bethel. Gets a 1-for-1 start here, and Taylor leads 3-0. Malone and the Lancers in red with white numbers and white letters. This is Jacob Gibbs between the legs. Bounce far side to Deaton, their leading scorer. Taylor opens up in a man-to-man defense, near side to Frankie Davidson. Right-hand drive, step through on Hubbard. He blocked the shot. Davidson got it back. Bangs, head fake. Hubbard didn't bite, but Davidson reverses home a layup from left to right. So both teams come up with points on their opening possession. Taylor leads by 1 after the 3-ball by Furman. McLeod with Malone on him. Gray still in that man-to-man. Deaton guards Pena, right side circle. Near side of the floor, Miranda. Deaton switches on a screen. Back to Pena with the mismatch of the smaller Gibbs on him. Left hand back down, near side of the floor. Pena, nice find to the 5-foot area. McLeod rainbows home a baseline jumper. That's the sweet spot for McLeod. Malone didn't want to come over to double and give McLeod a chance to tear the rim off, but James knocks down a mid-range jumper, and Taylor's lead back up to 3. Deaton around a screen, right side floater, glass, no, hits the floor, and it's rebounded by Pena for Taylor. A 3-on-3 break, pitching near side, Furman fakes a 3, puts it on the deck, down to the left side, he passed it behind McLeod, who thought Furman was going to pull from the right elbow. Here comes Grace the other way, stepping in, Furman underneath, and it's a block on the freshman against Jake Wadding. Wadding was attacking from the right side of the floor, and Furman, a little bit late to get back his first, and the team's first. It'll be a shooting foul, so that sends the freshman Wadding to the line. Nope, they'll call it on the floor, actually. Grace, one of the more youthful teams in the Crossroads League. They have just 2 seniors, Hayden Deaton and Cody Holmes. Holmes played in just 4 games this year. Deaton is the Lancers' leading scorer. Malone fakes a 3 from straight away. The big fella puts it on the deck and kicks out to the far side. Deaton
Got to the free throw line, picks to the bounce, goes to the right block. Malone, bully ball with Pena, muscles it way up from the left side of the glass and flips it home with a right hand with his back to the basket. Malone at 6'9", they don't list his weight, but he is a monstrous human being down low, and it draws Grace back to within 1. 2 minutes into this opening half, both teams have scored on their first 2 possessions. Near side fake and drive. Hubbard bangs, knocked out of his hands. It was Gibbs that came in and poked it free and stolen away by Wadding. Long bounce pass up the floor, far side Davidson as Grace looks for their first lead today. Malone, catch and shoot 3 straight on, back rim, nope. High in the air, it's Pena for the rebound. Malone, a good 3-point shooter at 40%. McLeod to Furman, steps in, long 2 over Malone, right side, long off the far side rim. Davidson taps it away, the top rebounder for Grace, keeping it away from Hubbard. And again, Grace tries to go in front for the first time, and they do with a driving right-hand layup by Davidson. His second field goal gives Grace the 1-point clearance at 6-5. Miranda crossing over Gibbs, trying to get loose with the ball kicked away by Grace, but they'll say it'll go back to the Lancers. It looked like from our vantage point that someone in red had kicked the ball away. Instead, Taylor turns it over for the second time here in the first less than 3 minutes. Jason Hubbard quickly comes out for the Trojans. He'll be replaced by Zach Baher. Hubbard, the Trojans' top scorer, rebounder, and leading shot blocker, will get an early break. He had 21 points that these teams met back in December. Grace from right to left, they've made 3 of their first 6 shots. Malone palms the ball and gives off to Jay Gibbs. Right-hand drive, bangs with Miranda, who slaps it out of his hands and steals the ball away. Taylor trying to regain the lead, trailing by 1. Furman, near side of the floor, attacks, bumped into the air, weak side pass, long 2, baseline jump shot, McLeod. Nope, Pena right there to rebound it and lay it in. He was right in front of Malone, stepped right in front, caught the miss and laid it home softly. Taylor back in front by 1, 7-6 on Pena's first hoop today. Wadding to the big fella Malone against Pena. Nice wrap pass down low to Davidson, who dunked it with 2 hands. A pretty pass from the big fella Malone, and then Davidson thundered it home. Grace regains a 1-point clearance as the teams go back and forth. Grace's biggest lead has been this 1-point advantage. Nice cut down low. Baher got Malone to bite, double team. Near side McLeod, this time for a long 2, and he switches that one. So 1 from the left and 1 from the right. 4 for McLeod, and Taylor's lead back up to 1 at 9-8. Hot shooting start for both teams, almost 4 minutes into the opening half. Davidson from the top runs into Gibbs. Thought about a 3, floats it into the right block, Malone. Baher comes to help, back outside. Davidson's 3 off the back of the rim. McLeod soars up for the miss as Davidson misses an open look from 3. Miranda near side with Taylor leading by 1, crossing over, back between his legs goes Miranda. Darting with Deaton to Pena with the smaller Gibbs guarding him. Left hand back down, CJ draws the eyes of 3 Grace players, finds Furman in the far corner, fakes and steps, he's cut off. And up top, the pass goes to Miranda. Pena up top with 9 to shoot. Deaton guards, try to go the right side of the lane. Step back 3. Pena, good! Off balance off of 1 foot. Pena with a 3 ball. Second one for the Trojans, and Taylor takes a game-high lead of 4 at 12-8. Pena with 5 early ones for the home team. Near side, Wadding lobbing into Malone. Baher comes to help Pena with a double team. Malone, far side pass. Davidson fakes the 3, backs down and whips it up top to Gibbs. A career-high 24 last on Wednesday. Misses the 3-point shot short. McLeod misses the offensive rebound, and they'll throw the ball off the foot of Pena as Davidson was right there. McLeod had to go off of his hands. It missed, and the Trojans will avoid disaster here. It brings us to a media timeout with 15:09 remaining in the opening half. It's Taylor 12 and Grace 8 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
12-8 Taylor lead on the back of a 5-for-7 shooting start for the Trojans, including 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. Eddie Gill IV, the son of the former NBA player Eddie Gill, checks in for the first time. He'll deal it in near side of the floor for Grace. He replaces Elijah Malone. So a quicker lineup without the 6'9 Malone out there for GC. Here's Gibbs right side, lost it going against Niehaus. Right left-hand floor shot was an air ball. Pena rises through the air and snatches it out of the air for TU. Up the floor, McLeod tried to sneak back. Leaping in the air was Deaton to poke the long pass away, and here comes Grace from right to left in red. Gill played in just 6 games a year ago, missing most of the season due to injury. Healthy now and kicks near side to Jay Gibbs. Left block Davidson, who has the early 6 out of the 8 for GC. Driving down the lane, Gibbs slices through the Taylor defense as Niehaus was looking the other way, and Jacob Gibbs lays it home for his first 2. Deficit for Grace now 12-10 as Taylor goes from left to right out of the media timeout. No change to the Taylor 5 outside of Niehaus. Gibbs read the pass. He deflected it off of Niehaus as Taylor struggles with some lackadaisical passing here in the early going. 2 subs will come in for Taylor. Pena out, replaced by Taylor's Jeff Clayton. Gavin Yoon comes in to get Miranda. So it's Baher, Clayton, Yoon, Niehaus, and McLeod, the Taylor 5. Davidson, Deaton, Gill, Matt Jennings, who just checked in for Grace, and Wadding. The Lancers 5, they have the ball down by 2, going from right to left. 14-15 remaining here in the first half. Wadding trying to back down Baher, spun to the baseline, couldn't get a shot go. Deaton up top, picks up the bounce with McLeod right there in his face. Far side Jennings between the circles of Davidson with a shot clock hitting 10. Near side of the floor, Deaton looks back at the clock, other side. Jennings fakes a 3 from straight away. Down the left side of the lane, floater off the high glass. Nope. Yoon amongst 3 Grace players comes down with the miss. Just past 14 minutes remaining here in the opening half. Taylor still clinging to a 2-point lead at 12-10. Baseline left, Clayton fakes, whips it out far side. This is Yoon. To the near side of the floor, and Baher guarded tightly by Davidson. Clayton handoff, Baher, open look 3. No, long off the heel, but Niehaus goes soaring up for the offensive rebound. Bullying his way in, couldn't get the reverse layup to go. He'll tap it out to the far side, and McLeod chases it down for Taylor. 10 to shoot. Taylor's got to go quick here. Yoon's picked up the bounce. Now McLeod, 7. Handoff from Clayton. McLeod with 6 and 5. Crossing over left hand. Down the lane goes James McLeod. Did everything except laying it home with the left hand. And Grace will try to regain the lead or tie down 2. Deaton wants the lead with a near side 3. He left it short. Getting the rebound. It'll call the foul on the floor as Jake Wadding outmuscled 2 Taylor players down and underneath the hoop. Deaton, a really good 3-point shooter at 39% as Jason Hubbard returns for Taylor to get McLeod. He was just 1 for 8 in the loss to Marion on Wednesday. Taylor's lost 3 games in a row. Grace has lost 3 straight as well, including 5 of their last 6. Gill to the right block, and Davidson, who has 6 of the first 10, poked out of bounds by Clayton. It remains with Grace. The Lancers 5 of 13 from the floor. Taylor 5 of 10. Malone will return for Grace, replacing Wadding to put some more size up front. 13:05 remaining in the first half. Gill from the far baseline on the basket to our left. Deaton guarded by Hubbard. Into the baseline right. This is Davidson. Left hand back down, trying to find an angle on Baher, trying to go up and under. Baher cut him off. Bank shot off the rim near side. It's Clayton with the near side rebound for Taylor. A good look there by Davidson, a good body by Baher. And now it'll be Gill pestering Yoon in the backcourt. Far side perimeter Baher. Taylor reverses the ball near side to Niehaus. Still a man-to-man here for Grace, wondering when they'll go to the zone. Hubbard backing down. Deaton tries to stand tall, but he got lifted into the air, and Deaton called for the foul. First on the top scorer for Grace, first one against the visitors. And the shot clock resets at 20 with Yoon to get it in near sideline. Taylor leading by 2, 12-10 as they shoot on the basket to our right. They're in white, Grace is in red. They play a man-to-man. Hubbard catches the high pass, rips and goes baseline left. Bangs with Deaton, Malone in the paint trying to help. Right-hand hook, hits the rim, rolls just off. It's Clayton down low, pivoting, banking, blocked from behind by Malone. He has 45 blocks on the season now, and Grace will again try to trim their deficit to an even margin or regain a lead down 2. 12-15 and counting here in the first half. Davidson's been the offense early for Grace. Wants to go down low. Malone, Clayton was fronting. Jennings, perimeter right, high side. Niehaus guards him. Shot clock dwindling here. Gill up top. Wants Malone down low. Can't get it to him. Jennings far side with 9 to shoot. Driving on Niehaus. To the baseline. Reverse layup. Left it short near side. Gill comes in to get the miss, but his pass was deflected and intercepted near side by Yoon. Up to Hubbard near side. Crossing over Deaton. Got into the paint trying to find help. Niehaus had a tip off of his fingertips, and Taylor gives another pass away. Their 6th turnover of the first half. Davidson, perimeter right, goes in, kicking near side Jennings to give Grace the lead back. Off the right side of the rim, to the baseline it goes. Yoon and Gill watch it go out of bounds, and it was last touched by the shooter Jennings, and Taylor will get possession back. Clayton, Niehaus, Baher exit, Miranda, Pena, and Furman back in for Taylor. 11:35, the clock stopped here in the opening half. Taylor leading 12-10, but they have gone scoreless for the last handful of moments. Taylor's had a biggest lead of 8. That was at 12-8. Grace's biggest lead has been 1. And here's the 2-3 zone for Grace. In this 3-game losing streak, the zone has given Taylor fits on the offensive end. We'll see what they can do here. They were much better against Bethel in the second half last Saturday. Taylor sends it to Furman near side, a good 3-point shooter, into that zone, Hubbard. Baseline, Pena goes right at Malone, up off the glass with a power move from Pena. 7 for CJ, and that ends the long Taylor scoring drought and pushes the Taylor advantage back to 4. As we played 9 minutes here in the opening half. Davidson to Deaton, down low Malone, too high for the 6'9" big fella, as Deaton throws it into the Taylor cheerleaders over to our left. Just the second giveaway for Grace here in the opening half. Deaton will exit, replaced by Jake Wadding. Taylor they are 6 of 13 from the floor. Grace is 5 of 16. The difference right now for Taylor, they are 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Grace is 0 of 5. A 2-3 zone again look for Grace. Miranda picks to the bounce, near corner Pena. Holds the ball over his head off to Yoon. Now to the far side of the floor it finds Miranda. Tried to cut in, picks to the bounce, directing where he wants guys to cut. Left elbow Pena, stepping into a right side circle 3 Furman. Short front rim. Miranda goes in for the miss and he'll bounce it near side to Yoon. Taylor resets with 17 to shoot, still leading by 4 as we approach the halfway point of the opening half. Yoon wide open, but that one off the back of the rim. Malone will push away and haul in the miss from 3. Up the floor comes Grace. Taylor slides back into their man-to-man. They wear white. Jennings around the screen to cut the deficit to 1, and he does as Taylor went underneath the screen, and Jennings let an open 3-shot fly. Jennings, a 31% three-point shooter. Good look from 3, and Taylor's lead down to 1. Near side skip pass, catch and shoot 3. Miranda, cash from the near side as Furman found him. First bucket for Miranda. He's now 14 away from 1,000 on his senior day. And just like that, Taylor's lead back up to 4. Just past the halfway point of the opening half. Gill around a Malone screen, back to the near side and Wadding. They look Malone's way, but Pena fronting the post in the Taylor man-to-man. Jennings skipping far side. Gill touch pass down to Malone, who sets himself and sunders it home with a 2-hand dunk. Quick ping-ping passing there by Grace. Got the big fella open for a 2-hand thunder slam. And with 9:30 remaining in the first half, Taylor's lead back down to 2. Trails trying to solve this 2-3 zone. They got a 3 the last time down the floor. Free throw line, Hubbard fumbles a pass, but able to get it back. Turns and faces the basket, dribbling through pressure, trying to slip his way through Malone. High pass far side, Miranda. 1-3 today. This one long from the perimeter left, and the weak side rebound is Grace's. Gill will accelerate up the floor. Grace trails by 2. Nice spin move by Gill. Got blocked from behind by Yoon, who pirouettes in the air and saves it into Miranda. Far sideline, Hubbard goes right at the Grace defense. Nice right-hand floater, but he left it short. And the ball's pinballed around, and then Jennings will run into Miranda, who was there, but they'll call Miranda for the block. The officials say Vincent's feet were not completely set, and it's the first on Vincent and the third one against Taylor in a quick moving opening half. Davidson out for Grace. Jacob Gibbs returns for GC. His brother Cade got hurt in the game Wednesday. We wish the best for Jacob Gibbs' twin brother Cade. 2-point Taylor lead, Grace with a rock. Jacob trying to tame at 17, turns and hits a left-handed jump shot. Taylor left Gibbs, just taking a wide open look from the free throw line, and he cashes it in. Second field goal for Gibbs, and the game back level at 17. GC still in the 2-3 zone. Miranda into the zone. Pena turns and finds up top Yoon. Straight away lefty 3 ball. Nope, front rim spins off, and 3 Lancers are there. Then Hubbard ties up Gill, but the alternating possession arrow has been turned off. But it should be going to Grace since Taylor won the opening tip. So an open look from 3 cannot fall for the Trojans. They are now 3 of 8 from beyond the arc. Hubbard checks out for Taylor. McLeod returns to the Taylor 5. Grace to the ball from right to left. They're 8 of 20 from the floor to start. Taylor just a little bit better, just a little bit worse percentage-wise, 7 of 8. But Taylor's made 3 threes to Grace's 1, and that's how the game is tied at 17. Malone, nice pass through the needle. Gibbs lays it in. He's got 4 in a row. Gibbs, the right-hand reverse layup from the right side of the glass. A beautiful pass from Malone on his second assist. for the 6'9 center, and Grace takes their first lead bigger than one today. They're up 19-17 with 8 minutes separating us from halftime. Left elbow McLeod for Taylor as they look into the 2-3 Grace zone. Faking and driving. Pass into traffic, tapped away by two different Grace players. McLeod might have had a step on Malone, but tried to kick it to Pena, and it was deflected out of play. That stoppage in play brings us to a media timeout as the Trojans have been sloppy with the ball, 6 turnovers, but they made 3 threes and the game tied, or they trailed by 2, 19-17 to Grace, with 7:53 remaining here in the first half.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits.
(19-17) the Grace advantage. They have gotten 4 straight from Jacob Gibbs. He's 6 points on the floor, tied for team high honors. Keegan Owen comes in for Taylor. As Taylor has the ball out of the media timeout, down by 2. Inside the left side arc, Pena backing down the smaller Waddings. Sakes try to go up and under, back to the left side, right-hand floater in over Malone for another 2. 9 for Pena. He hasn't missed a shot from the floor, and that ties the game at 19. With 7:34 and counting here in the opening half. Grace from right to left in red. Taylor defends man-to-man in white. Here's Wadding up top. Left elbow Jennings, fakes and drives, right side into Miranda, but cannot get the roll. Malone tried to tap it up, could not with a right-hand flick, and Owen will pick the ball up off the floor for Taylor. Miranda floating near side, Pena, transition 3. That one tailed off to the right, and the first miss for the afternoon comes from C.J. Pena. The game remains level at 19. Deaton with the weak side rebound there for Grace. Waddings, down low Deaton, turnaround on a backdoor cut, and he lays it in for his first 2. Back in front goes Grace, 21-19. Deaton, their top scorer at 15 a game, was limited to just 7 when these teams met back in December. Back to the man-to-man goes Grace. Near side Owen, Jennings guards him. Around the left side, Pena screen. Back to CJ with a mismatch with the shorter Jennings guarding him. Inside the right side arc, spinning, pirouetting, fading away. That jump shot was short, but CJ gets his own miss on the baseline. He went right through Wadding and laid it in with the left hand. First double-figure score of the game is C.J. Pena with 11, and the game tied at 21. 6:30 and counting here in the opening half. Wadding, mid-post right Gibbs against the smaller Owen. Left-hand shot good as Gibbs muscled his way up and in. 8 for Jacob Gibbs on 4 of 6 shooting, and Grace regains a 2-point clearance once again. Taylor's 4-point lead has been the biggest one of the game so far. Grace is not led by more than a deuce. That's come here in the last few moments. Malone with a mismatch with Miranda. Steps in, 3 ball over the big fella. Bang for Miranda. 6 for Vincent. As Malone wasn't sure what to do. Go guard Miranda or let him blow on by. Taylor back in front by 1, 24-23, as Miranda closing in on 1,000 career points. Malone mid-post right against Pena. Furman tries to come and help. Malone spins, got underneath the hoop, and lays it in with a reverse layup. Beautifully done by the fleet-footed Elijah Malone. 6 for the big man, and Grace's lead back up to 1 at 25-24. Owen around a screen. Jennings goes underneath and fights. Nicely done by Wadding. Then he got pushed down by Pena, who tried to go for the miss. Wadding fronted the post, wrapped one of those long arms around Pena, snaked the ball away, then draws the first foul against Pena. Frankie Davidson back in for GC, replacing Malone. Malone and Davidson have 6. Gibbs leading the way for Grace with 8 so far. 1-point Grace advantage as they look into the Taylor man-to-man defense as they shoot on the basket to our left. Wadding near side, rising for a three. Nope. Weak side rebound, those is Gibbs. Goes up, blocked from behind by McLeod, out of bounds off of James's right hand, who got the block. Wadding just now 7 of 22 from 3 as Pena dared him and came out the victor on that one. 18 to shoot for Grace, leading by 1 with 5:15 first half. They throw it into Wadding, a closer shot this time as he goes up and over with a banker over Furman. Biggest lead of the afternoon for Grace is right here at 3, 27-24, with 5:05 left to go in the first half. Furman, near side corner, Miranda holds the ball over his head. Senior classman McLeod trying to turn the corner. Down the lane goes Miranda, blocked from behind, but Pena's right there to catch the miss and lay it home. 13 for CJ, 6 of 8 from the floor as he is putting his imprint on this first half early. Taylor down by 1 with 4:45 remaining in the first. Jennings, one-hand whip to Gibbs, the Grace leading scorer so far. Wadding, back out to Gibbs, the lefty, right side high three ball. Nope, front rim, but an offensive foul underneath against Hayden Deaton, their senior leading scorer. Second one on the elder statesman Deaton, and he'll go to the bench in place of Eddie Gill. The fourth. Furman out for Taylor. Jason Hubbard back in. Again, he's the Trojans' leading scorer. Jason has taken just 2 shots today. He's missed both of them as Jeff Clayton comes in to spell C.J. Pena. Taylor with the ball from left to right in white. Grace is wearing red. It looks like they'll go to the man-to-man defense here with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. And it will be a man-to-man here. Falling down is Jennings. That gets the Taylor students in the front row out of their seats. They leave Hubbard open from 10 feet. His baseline jump shot was an air ball, as I think Jason was surprised at how open he was. Grace the other way. Then losing the ball is Jennings. He'll get it back up top to Gibbs, who goes flying down the lane. Off-balance prayer, hits the glass and nothing else. And Hubbard has the rebound down low for Taylor. Trojans trying to regain the lead, down by 1. Hubbard thinks about going end-to-end. Jump step through, right-hand finger roll for a deuce. A pretty first bucket for Hubbard, and Taylor back in front by 1. Just dip below 4 minutes remaining here in the first. Davidson got the early scoring for Grace, has been quiet since. Jennings, they go underneath the screen again, and he misses this near side three-point shot. Rebounded on the weak side by Taylor's Jason Hubbard. Taylor leading by 1, looking for help. It's in the form of Niehaus. Fakes and falls, still keeps the ball away from Grace players. McLeod will come as an outlet. So Jennings fell 1 possession to go. Niehaus, who was guarding him, slipped on the other possession. Mid-post right, Clayton turns and rises for a long, high-arcing 2. That's off the glass and an air ball on the far side. Jennings will be shot out of a cannon from right to left. Angling, baseline pass. Wadding goes in, but it's a double dribble against Matt Jennings. Second-year head coach Scott Moore for Grace not happy with the call as Elijah Malone returns for Grace, replacing Jennings. Aaron Hahn will make his first appearance of the day for Taylor. He replaces James McLeod. For Taylor, they have Hahn, Miranda, Hubbard, Clayton, and Niehaus. Grace counters with Jacob Gibbs, Davidson, Malone, Gill, and Wadding for their 5 starters. Miranda around the Hubbard screen, pointing where he wants Hubbard to go. Now he'll try to back down Gibbs. 15 to shoot, baseline left drive. Gibbs fell down. Hubbard up and over Malone. Shot was blocked. Hubbard can't get to it in time as Wadding has it poked out of bounds off the long arm of Hubbard. They're going to call a flop warning on Jacob Gibbs. So Gibbs gets called for the flop warning. One more and it'll be a technical foul. Still a 1-point Taylor lead with less than 3 to go here in the first half. Grace with the rock from right to left. They're clad in red today. Big game as the game separates these two teams in the Crossroads League standings. Taylor in 8th. Grace is in 7th. Malone, perimeter or mid-post right. Hubbard comes a double. Outside Wadding. They dare him to shoot a 3. Near side to Gibbs. Near side to Davidson around the arc. They fake the handoff to Gill. Hahn guarding. This is Davidson. 6 to shoot. Turnaround. Fade away from the mid-range. Swished as Davidson's got a nice touch with 8 first-half points. 4th field goal today in 8 tries. That ties Gibbs for team high honors. Taylor down by 1 with the ball. Miranda, right side circle. Gibbs right there, jabbing twice as Miranda, rising for a 3. 3rd one today, no. Off the right side of the rim, Hubbard almost soared in for a one-handed rebound, but he couldn't haul in the miss. 2:10 to go in the first half. Grace shooting 43% from the floor. Taylor at an even 40. 2:05 and counting here in the first half. 1-point advantage for Grace with the ball. Skipping near side, Davidson. Hubbard daring him to shoot a 3. Davidson directing where he wants Wadding to go. They want to go to Malone, mid-post left. They cannot. Now they do. Clayton tried to go around, couldn't keep it away from Malone. Niehaus trying to help. Malone goes in. Clayton blocked the shot. It's tapped back, and Clayton tracks it down. Splendid defense there by Clayton on the 6'9 Malone. Taylor down by 1. Miranda open from the parking lot, but he won't let the 3-point shot go. Taylor down by 1. Hubbard against Gill, who gets low, trying to stop the dangerous Jason Hubbard. Spinning, banging, rising, league logo 2. Nope. Off the back rim as Jason now 1 of 6, shooting here in the opening half. A cold start for Jason. They took him out early to get him a breather. Has not been able to find his rhythm since after he had 21 when these teams met back in December. 80 seconds left to go here in the first half. Grace with the ball leading by 1. A throw goes off the glass. Malone didn't even go after it as Gill shouts at him. Miranda has it poked away. Then everybody looks at the floor. Miranda looks for a foul, and that will not come. Gibbs on the other end goes, and Niehaus strips it away, and it goes off of Niehaus. As both teams have been sloppy with the ball in the opening half. 5 turnovers for Grace, 9 of them now for Taylor. Pena and McLeod return for Taylor. 4 of the 5 starters out there for the Trojans. Hahn the only non-starter. And that will change here as Furman comes in to get Hahn. Pena has been Taylor's best player today in the first half. 13 points and 6 rebounds. Grace to the ball, they'll call a timeout by second-year head coach Scott Moore, leading by 1, 29-28, with 63 seconds remaining here in the first half.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Both teams shot the ball really well to start. Taylor now at just 38%. Grace is 44%. The difference right now, neither team ironically has shot a free throw yet with 1:03 to go in the first half, and Grace leading by 1. Taylor has outscored Grace by 9 from beyond the arc. 4 made threes to just 1 for the Lancers. But Grace doesn't take a lot of threes. Davidson, perimeter left with less than a minute to go. He's been stellar in the opening half. Jay Gibbs from straight away, far side to Gill. They want to go down low to Malone with Pena front. They lob it in. Malone taps it back to himself underneath the hoop, goes up, leans back and lays it in for another 2. 8 for Elijah Malone, and the lead for Grace up to 3. Good play out of the timeout from Grace head man Scott Moore. 40 seconds left to go in the first half. Furman, who's had a 3 today, gives off to Pena inside the near side arc. Taylor trailing by 3. Faking and going will be Pena. Left hand back down perimeter up, kicks out to McLeod, not a 3-point shooter as Taylor spins it around the arc against the Grace man-to-man. Pena fakes a handoff to Miranda. Long 2 from the left side high. Nope. Threw it right down to Hubbard, who lays it in with the left hand. Second field goal for Hubbard with 18 seconds left. Taylor down by 1, 31-30. Grace can hold for the final shot. Lancers from right to left in red. Taylor in the man-to-man defense. 9 to go in the first half. Wadding, left side high with 5. Now Gill against Miranda. Dribbled it off of his foot. Trying to dive on the floor was Gill. Floats it back to McLeod with 1. Miranda from midcourt. Might have gotten fouled. It almost went in as Miranda turns and looks for a foul as he felt his legs got undercut from underneath of him. And more sloppy play ends the opening half. The Taylor students unhappy looking for the Miranda foul on the 3-point heave from midcourt. Miranda looked for it as well, but that will be how the first half comes to a close. Through 20 minutes, we've got a good one brewing from Odell Arena. Grace has a 1-point lead over Taylor on the Trojans Senior Day, 31-30 here on the Trojans Sports Network.
Play that old song. You really wanted to play it. That's what's really going to evoke memory. You got to have the music that you listen to.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 5 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $150, all the way up to the Trojan MVP level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
We'll show you maybe a future Taylor Trojan getting some shots up down there on the floor at halftime. At the break, the Taylor Trojans trail Grace 31-30. 31-30. Here at halftime, the Trojans led by as many as 4. Grace's biggest lead has been 3 in the opening half so far today. Grace shooting 46% from the floor. They started off cold and heated up, and he got going towards the middle of the first half. They were 15 of 33 from the floor, just 1 of 9 from 3. But that's not that surprising. They average the fewest made threes per game in the Crossroads League this season. And like a theme we had throughout the first half, they did not take a free throw. Taylor shot 13 of 34 from the floor, 38%. They were 4 of 11 from downtown for 36%. and they as well did not even attempt a free throw in the first half. It's ironic to note because Grace averages 22 free throws per game. They make 16 per game. So they get off the bus almost knowing that they're going to get 16 points per game, but they have come up 0 with neither team taking a free throw in the opening 20 minutes. The top scorers for Grace were 3 of them, each with 8 points. Jacob Gibbs, Frankie Davidson, and Elijah Malone. It was Davidson and Malone early, then Gibbs came on at about the midway point of half number 1. Other scorers in the first half, 2 for Hayden Deaton, 2 for Jake Wadding, and 3 for Matt Jennings. Eddie Gill played but did not score, as Grace kept their bench rotation tight with just 2 subs in the first half. Again, remember, we talked with Jacob Gibbs before the game. I asked him, trying to figure out any details that would separate him and his twin brother, Cade. He told us sadly that Cade was not here because of an injury. We wish Cade the best, as he and Jacob redshirt freshmen out of Plainfield, Indiana. For the Trojans, they were led by C.J. Pena, who's trying to pick up his 7th straight game of at least 20 points. He's got 13 in the first half on 6 of 9 shooting, including a 3. The Trojans' top scorer, Jason Hubbard, was quiet in the first half, 4 points, just 2 of 7 shooting. James McLeod in his senior day, 4 points, 3 points for Caden Furman, and 6 points for Vincent Miranda, and that is it. The Trojans brought in 6 guys off the bench. They went a combined 0 for 6, with Bahar, Yoon, and Clayton and Niehaus attempting shots. Playing but not scoring or attempting a shot in the first half were Keegan Owen and Aaron Hahn for Taylor. Good note for the Trojans, they've won the rebounding battle in the first half by 5, 22-17, including 8-4 on the offensive glass. Grace is the best rebounding team in the Crossroads League and 14th best in the country, out-rebounding their foes by 8 per ball game. Top rebounder for Taylor in the first half was Pena with 6. Frankie Davidson leads the way for Grace with 6 in the first half as well. Assist numbers are where Taylor would like to improve. They had just 5 helpers in the first half, no one with more than 1 on their 13 baskets. Grace had 10 of them on 15 hoops, including 3 by the big man Elijah Malone. He had never had more than 1 assist in an entire game of his freshman season this year, but he has 3 in the first half so far. Taylor turned it over 8 times, some real sloppy, lackadaisical play by Taylor in the first half at times. 5 giveaways for Grace. Neither team scored a point off the turnover in the first 20 minutes of action. 2 blocks aside, no one with more than 1. Wadding and Malone with the rejections for Grace. Hubbard and Owen, Hubbard and Yoon, the ones with the blocks for Taylor. 3 steals for the Trojans, no one with more than 1. 6 steals for Grace. 3 guys had 2. Jay Gibbs, Jake Wadding, and Eddie Gill, the 4th. Other numbers of note, points in the paint, that is where Grace made their money in the first half, 24-14, outscoring Taylor, but the Trojans had the edge in second chance points, 8-2 on their 8 offensive rebounds. A tight one here from Odell Arena. Taylor won by just 3 after having a big lead in Winona Lake back in December. The Trojans need a win today to avoid almost guaranteeing themselves of being in 8th place in the Crossroads League tournament, which will start in 2 weeks' time, and having to go to Indiana Wesleyan, which is playing like the Monstars from Space Jam since the opening tip this season. Grace is a game ahead of Taylor, but with a win today, the Trojans would get the season sweep and hold the first tiebreaker if they and Grace ended up tied. The whole thing is really kind of screwy when you look at it. Taylor a game and a half back of St. Francis and Mount Vernon Nazarene, who are tied for 5th, and they're just 2 games back of Huntington, who they split with this season, who's sitting in 4th. After today, the Trojans have just 1 game left. A couple of teams have 2. A couple of teams even have 3 games for next week. So the Trojans, by winning out, could find themselves maybe all the way up to 4th with a first-round tournament game. But 2 wins would guarantee them of staying away from Indiana Wesleyan as long as possible. The Trojans are back on the floor to get ready for the second half, which should be a good one from here inside Odell Arena. Taylor and Grace both trying to break 3-game losing streaks, and a pivotal one with the league standings in the Crossroads League season winding down. Here's we're in the final 2 weeks of the regular season. This has been the BSN Sports Halftime Report at the break. It is Grace 31 and Taylor 30. This is Taylor Men's Basketball on the Trojan Sports Network. When we come back, it's time for second half action from here inside Odell Arena.
Yeah, our first year doing Day of Giving was an incredible success last year. We were able to raise over $60,000 that went directly to our individual programs. And that's been the goal of it from the beginning, is giving our alumni, parents, supporters a chance to give directly to the teams that have impacted their lives. So we're hoping for an even bigger day this year and even more participation. I think I was pleasantly surprised at just the number of people who gave. Not everybody is writing a massive check, and we know these are difficult times, but just to see the number of people, the number of young alumni that gave anything. They gave $5, they gave $50, they gave any amount of money, and I think it just, for all of our coaches, I think I speak on behalf of everyone to say we're just proud at the engagement and the number of people that just wanted to be involved. And we have some competitions here in the department of the highest percentage of alumni that give. We have a bonus for those sports, and I think that's what it is. It's just instead of kind of asking at different times or having people send stuff at random times, it's like, hey, let's just pick a day and let's ask people to be a part of it, and it's something we can all do together.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 5 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $150, all the way up to the Trojan MVP level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Before the second half starts, let's take a look at the scoreboard around the Crossroads League. A lot of close games going on today. Huntington leads Marion 37-34. Mount Vernon Nazarene, the biggest margin so far, as all these games at halftime are about there. 16-point lead for MVNU over Goshen. And Bethel and Indiana Wesleyan deadlocked at 47 over across the county at Lucky Arena. We're ready to go for the second half from here inside Odell Arena. Grace will have their 5 starters on the floor: Jacob Gibbs, Hayden Deaton, Jake Wadding, Frankie Davidson, and Elijah Malone. The Trojans will counter. With their starting 5: Jason Hubbard, Caden Furman, Vincent Miranda, James McLeod, and C.J. Pena. Taylor with the first possession of the second half. They go from right to left in white. Grace opens up man-to-man there in red. Through the hands of McLeod on the hot pass from Miranda, and Taylor turns it over for the 9th time today. They give it away 9 seconds into the second half, as the 2 seniors have a miscommunication there on the opening possession. So now Grace will have the opening crack at the basket to our right. They lead by 1, 31-30. Malone almost fumbled the ball away as Pena was right there. He almost traveled up top, but he kept that pivot foot down. McLeod fights through the screen, guarding Deaton. Near side to free throw line, Gibbs. Head fake and goes in. Up, shot was smacked off the glass by Furman, but I think they'll get Pena for the foul down low.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year.
Second one on the Trojans' top score in the game
has
so far. And for the first time today, free throws will come from either team. Jacob Gibbs has made 12 of his last 12 from the line. Has not missed a free throw in his last 7 games. The redshirt freshman shooting 70% from the stripe this season. And the lefty's first one rolls off, and there's his first miss in the last 7 games. Trying to make it now just a 2-point lead for Grace. Still not even 30 seconds gone in the second half, and he swishes it. 9 for Gibbs. That breaks the three-way tie for leading scorer for the Lancers. It's a 2-point lead for Grace, and Taylor will go from right to left in white. They turned it over 9 seconds into their opening possession. Man-to-man for Grace. Left-hand drive McLeod. Malone got his hand in there on a hand check. That's the first one on the big man, and the first one against Grace here in the half. The first half, we saw a combined 6 fouls called. We played 35 seconds, and 2 fouls have been called here in the second half. Near side to Furman off the inbounds play. Pena dribbles to the far side of the floor, wrapping it in to the far side of perimeter, and McLeod shakes and blows right around Malone, who snakes it in with a right-hand reverse layup. Malone could not keep up with a fleet-footed McLeod, and the game tied for the 4th time today. Still less than a minute gone here in the second half, excuse me. Davidson to Gibbs, backing and spinning, the lefty over Miranda. Nope, dances off the rim. Malone pokes it away from Pena as he was just too tall for the 6'7" CJ Pena. Malone, the first Grace Lancer in double figures with 10 on 5 of 7 shooting. And the Grace lead back up to 2 at 34-30. Malone took just 4 shots in the loss Wednesday to Marion. Free throw line extended. That's McLeod's range, and he brings in a jump shot as Malone just let him take that one with ease. So 4 in a row for McLeod to start the half off. Ties the game at 34. Gibbs and Malone the first 4 for Grace. McLeod's got the first 4 for Taylor to start half number 2. Grace looks Malone's way. They go in. Double team Hubbard. Near side, they leave Davidson open, measuring a 3-ball. Nope. Almost got wedgie between the rim. It's tapped and rebounded by James McLeod. Taylor can try to regain the lead here. Hubbard goes flying up the floor, backing down, looking for help. Left hand, fade away, free throw line, jump shot, clean for Jason Hubbard. He had a talk with his dad going into the locker room, and maybe the words from Mr. Hubbard can help out his son wearing 0 in white. 6 for Jason, and Taylor leads by a deuce. Still just 2 minutes gone here in the second half. Deaton was quiet in the first half with 2 personal fouls. Goes around a Malone screen, back to the big man, finds a wide open Davidson. There's a miscommunication between Hubbard and Miranda. As Malone went into the air for a 3, he found Davidson streaking wide open, and he lays it in as Davidson now to double figures with an even 10, and the game tied at 36. Back and forth the two teams go to start the second half off. Malone gives McLeod too much room and cannot get a jump shot to go there. Hubbard soars up for the miss, bangs and lays it in. 8 for Jason Hubbard as he cleans up the mess, and Taylor takes the lead back at 38-36. Hot shooting start to the second half, much like we saw in the first half. Hubbard almost stole it away from Davidson, who goes angling in. Low pass to Malone. He'll wrap a pass around to Davidson. Fakes left, goes right, floating near side. Malone, step back 3, passes it up. Pena bangs, then Malone goes in. He stepped on the near baseline as that gets the Taylor students out of their seats. Malone at 6'9", and he is a well-built young man, but it's light on his feet for how massive he is. Taylor with a 2-point lead after the Hubbard bucket, 38-36. And Jason has it on the near side of the floor. Wadding guards him. They wanted Furman on a cut down low, couldn't go there. Deaton guarding Pena on a mismatch. We'll see if they get it to him. Furman fakes, and now he gives off to the right elbow and CJ. Far side Furman around a screen. Deaton switches back to Pena with Gibbs guarding with 8 to shoot. Faking and driving, floating, angling, banking good as Pena contorts his body in the air. 15 for CJ, and Taylor ties a game-high lead of 4 at 40-36. 3.5 minutes gone in the second half, excuse me. Man-to-man defense for Taylor. Davidson with 10 points around the Malone screen, who also has 10. Malone's got it right block. Hubbard comes to help. They leave Davidson open for a 3, steps in. No-look dish to Gibbs on the left block, who lays it in with the left hand. Gibbs in double figures with 11. All 3 guys that had 8 points in the first half for Grace are now in double figures. And that forces and Grace will take a full timeout. That's the second or third time the Trojans have lost a Grace player on the weak side of the floor. Taylor still with the lead at 40-38, 16-18 remaining second half.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland. and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Taylor leading 40-38, 16-18 remaining in the second half, coming out of the full Grace timeout. No change to either lineup as Taylor has the ball from right to left in white. Miranda to McLeod, the two seniors on her before the game, ripping and driving as Hubbard goes in. Blocking the shot was Wadding, then Hubbard loses it out of bounds near side. Was it deflected by whom? They'll say it goes off of Hubbard as the two officials had a conference on the near side. Hubbard looked for a foul that did not come. So after there are 2 fouls in less than a minute, we've played over 3 minutes and no foul since, much like the first half. Wadding, little shimmy shake, floating far side to Gibbs, almost lost it out of bounds off of his fingertips. Back to the baseline left, goes into Miranda, knocked it out of the way. Gibbs on the floor, gets it and gives off to Malone. Ripping and driving. Nice Euro step by the big fella Malone as he slalomed through Taylor defenders, and 12 for Elijah Malone. That was an impressive move by the big man. And that ties the game at 40. A 4-0 spurt here for Grace. Miranda against Gibbs, tucks the ball, picks it up. Far side Furman, pops the three now to the baseline right. McLeod, that's the sweet spot. Couldn't bank it in. Hubbard weak side rebound. Bully ball from Hubbard. It was blocked. Tapped out near the arc. Miranda trying to snake it away, and he did. Then he gets tackled by Hayden Deaton, and that's the third one on Grace's leading score. Deaton's been quiet today, just 2 points on 1 of 3 shooting. He was quiet when these teams met in December. And he tries to get an explanation from the near side saying he was going for the ball, but he took Miranda with him as he tried to tie Vincent up. The third one on Deaton. But Gibbs, Davidson, and Malone have picked up the slack offensively for Deaton today. Grace with the 2-3 zone, game tied at 40. Near sideline, Hubbard with 9 to shoot. Taylor's got to go quick. Furman, far side, Pena with 6. Far side corner, McLeod with 4, with 3. Furman, a desperation 3, halfway down and out as Pena tapped it in the air, and then Gibbs sends Pena down from behind. And will they call it a shooting foul or a foul on the floor? It's the first on Gibbs, and it will be a shooting foul. Third one against Grace in the half, and Pena to the line for 2. Grace was called for just 2 fouls in the first half. They have 3 in the first 5 minutes of half number 2. CJ shooting 80% from the line this year, but is just 9 of 15 from the line in his last 2 games. This one, though, is perfect. With 1 more to come, Eddie Gill the 4th in for Grace to spell the top scorer, Hayden Deaton. Deaton, a fine player, 7 points away coming in from 1,800. But it's going to be slower for him today with those 3 personals now. He checks out at the 15-minute mark, and Pena swishes both free throws. 17 for CJ, and Taylor goes ahead by 2, 42-40. 5 minutes have expired here in this second half. Gill will run the point. He's yet to score today. Malone's been on fire here today. Pena read the pass. Malone poked it away from him. Steps into a straightaway 3-ball from up top. Almost broke the glass. It's missed off the right side of the rim. Malone 0 for 2 from 3, came in at 40%. Hubbard kicks and skips. Got in and was fouled on the take by Wadding, even though Miranda hit the 3 from the right side. Taylor much more aggressive driving to the hoop here in the second half. First on Wadding, number 4 against the Lancers. But remember, Grace comes in as the most foul-prone team in the Crossroads League, averaging 18 per game. They have 4 here in this second half so far. Man-to-man for Grace. Taylor with the ball ahead by 2. And now they go to the 2-3 zone, do the Lancers. Hubbard in the near side corner looking into the zone. Taylor reversed the ball, far sideline, Pena. Into the paint. Hubbard read nicely by Gibbs, poked and stolen by Davidson. Taylor gives away for the 10th time today, but then Grace gives it right back. Nice spin away by Gill to poke it, keep it back in, and lay it in somehow. It looked like the Trojans were going to get the ball back. Gill stole the ball back from Miranda and then rotated away from multiple defenders and laid it home for his first 2 to tie the game at 42. Pass red near side. It goes off of Pena's hands as the pass was telegraphed. Wadding poked it off of Pena, and it goes back to Grace. 11th turnover for the Trojans, 2 in the last 2 possessions. And Taylor head coach Josh Andrews wants to stop the bleeding a little bit. 30-second timeout for Taylor, 42-42 our score, with 5:54 gone in the second half.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. rethink your limits.
The game tied at 42 with 14:04 remaining second half. All of Grace's field goals have come from the paint. They've scored 10 of their 11 points from the paint. Gibbs' only other point was a free throw. Matt Jennings has come in for GC. He replaces Davidson, who has 10 today for the Lancers. Near side Jennings, backdoor cut, dunk to the two hands by Wadding as Taylor again falls asleep on a backdoor cut. Third or fourth time that's happened to the Trojans here in this second half. And Grace goes ahead by 2 once again. 44-42, still plenty of time left as Grace slides around in the 2-3 zone clad in red. Near side Hubbard, who's been quiet today, just 4 for 11 from the floor for 8 points. Pena into the zone. Hubbard turns, falls away for a 2 off the left side of the rim and snatched down by Wadding before Taylor could get their hands on it. Quickly up the floor they go to Gill, angling back to his left, far side to Gibbs. Malone being fronted in the post by Taylor C.J. Pena in the man-to-man. Jennings high left side. They want to go to Malone. High pass in. Malone got it. Up over 2 defenders. Hubbard blocked the shot, but Malone got his miss. Couldn't put it in as he was challenged by Pena and Hubbard. It's cleaned up by McLeod. Grace head coach Scott Moore looks for a foul that does not come. Taylor with the ball down by 2, 44-42. Pena thought about giving the Taylor lead on a 3. High pass, McLeod, and high archer brings rain over Malone and 2 points. 10 for McLeod on senior day as he looks for a foul. Game deadlocked at 44 as the two teams go back and forth with not much clearance between either one. Malone, mid-post left. Pena there. Hubbard comes to help on the double team. Jennings, a good three-point shooter. No, front rim. McLeod comes darting in for the miss. Jennings just 1 of 4 from 3. Grace just 1 of 12 from downtown today. Pena, wide open 3-ball, no, but he gets his own miss in the near side corner, and Taylor will reset, trying to break the 44 deadlock. Miranda into the zone, fade away, fall away. Hubbard blocked by Malone as Hubbard continues to look for a foul that does not come. That's the second or third time the Trojans have taken a shot over Malone that they thought they got fouled on the follow-through, but no whistles come here. 12:05 remaining second half, 44 all. Gill, drive with the right hand underneath the hoop on the baseline, up top Jennings. He'll travel up top as he hopped and skipped like a frog, jumping from lily pad to lily pad, and then Jennings holds the ball close like a baby. Massive subs for both teams. Malone and Gibbs out for Grace. Deaton and Wadding return. 4 fresh bodies out there for Taylor. Niehaus, Clayton, Baher, and Yoon. McLeod the only one to stay for the Trojans. Less than 12 to go, second half, 44 all here on senior day for Taylor. The Trojans trying to tie Grace in the league standings and sweep the Lancers in the season series. Left elbow jump shot, step in for greatness. McLeod couldn't get it in. Baher muscles, can't get the and one, but Jennings fouled him on the take. First one on Jennings, number 5 against Grace, as Baher just muscled Jennings away with one arm, and it's 2 free throws here for Zach Baher. First trip to the line today for Zach, just 4 of 8 for the long-range shooter on the season. And the lefty's first one, perfect for his first point today. Zach, the transfer from Western Oregon University, a Division II school out west. He makes the first. He will swish the second as well. 2 for Zach, and Taylor's lead is 2, 46-44. And a fun one brewing here from Odell Arena with 11:40 remaining in regulation time. Davidson off a cut, got away from McLeod. Left-hand layup, no, and McLeod fouled him. And 2 free throws here for Davidson. More off-ball cuts keep giving the Trojans problems. It's led to a lot of wide-open backdoor layups, and a good off-ball cut there by Davidson got him free. Got fouled by McLeod, and 2 free throws coming for Davidson. An excellent free throw shooter at 83%. These will be his first ones of the day. Front rim hits the back rim and rolls in. Davidson with 11, one off of Malone's team high of 12. Everyone chasing Taylor C.J. Pena with a game high of 17. One more to come for the freshman Davidson, sophomore Davidson, who's been spectacular this season. From nearby Fort Wayne, he makes them both. He's got 12 and the game back even, this time at 46. 11:30 remaining second half. McLeod, Yoon, Baher, Niehaus, and Clayton to Taylor 5. Telegraph pass. Jennings couldn't get it. Yoon wheels his way into the near side and can't get an open look at the hoop. Taylor has telegraphed a lot of passes today, and it's come back to bite them a couple of times. Yoon near side of the floor, bouncing it into McLeod with Davidson guarding him. Turns and faces the basket. McLeod just bullies the young fella. Right-hand cook couldn't go. And a nice rebound down low by Davidson, his 7th, to lead Grace today. Grace trying to go back in front. Game tied at 46 as Niehaus guards the redshirt sophomore Gill. Wadding to the baseline left. Davidson against McLeod. Davidson, right hand back down, banging with McLeod, goes in through contact, floats it in for 2. Davidson just maneuvered McLeod right into the paint and softly floated it home. 4 in a row for Davidson. He's got 14 points, and Grace leads by 2 once again. Near side corner, Yoon, as Taylor shoots on the basket to our left. Clayton handoff to Yoon, thought about a 3, behind the back bounce, goes back to Clayton against Deaton. Clayton with 15, right hand pass around the arc. It spun. Niehaus fakes to his right, near side Yoon to give Taylor the lead back. Got it from the left side. First bucket of the day for Gavin Yoon. The Trojans' 5th triple puts them ahead 49-48. Good looking stroke there from Yoon with 10:15 to go second half. Jennings, left side high, poking at it as Clayton defending his Yoon. Tying him up was Clayton, and then Jennings will be tied up. The held ball will keep it here with Grace. And thankfully for Jennings, the held ball got called because his pivot foot was drug and would have been called for a travel if not for the whistle for the held ball. The possession error keeps it here with Grace with 17 to shoot. They trail by 1. Gill near side goes in. Wadding got a head fake, got Clayton to bite, and he lays it in and will get the foul. A broken record, I feel like. Another off-ball cut. Taylor falls asleep, and this time it hurts them twice with a foul and an and 1 coming. Wadding, though, a poor free throw shooter at 69%. His first trip to the line today is here. But he completes the and 1 on a pretty swish. 7 for Wadding, and Taylor down by 2. 51-49 as we hit the halfway point of half number 2. McLeod did not throw the pass as he saw Gill about to pounce on the intended target, Baher. Yoon high right side, free throw line, Baher down the lane, cutting his Niehaus. Got 2 guys in there, he gets hammered. It'll either go against Wadding or Gill. Beautiful head fake from Niehaus. Got 2 Lancers to soar in the air, and that's the 6th one against the visitors here in the second half. The guilty party is Eddie Gill, the 4th, his first. Two for Niehaus to tie the game at 51. You need the first one to do that, and he does right there. 1 more to come for Grant. Came in just 3 of 10 from the line this season. And this one to level the game at 51. Yep, swish. Good looking shot there from Niehaus. Aaron Hahn makes his first second half appearance. He replaces McLeod. So the Trojans have 5 reserves on the floor in Hahn, Yoon, Niehaus, Clayton, and Baher. Grace counters with Gill and Jennings, 2 reserve players. Wadding, Davidson, and Deaton, 3 starters, with Gibbs making his way to the scorers table. 51 all, 9:38 to go second half. Davidson poked away from Hahn, but he got him on the arm or on the back. There'll be a push on Aaron Hahn. First against him, number 3, make it number 4 against Taylor in half number 2. And Gibbs returns, replacing Jennings for Grace. 51 all, Gill quickly in, right side circle, Deaton. They want Davidson down low, he got away from Hahn, poked away from behind by Niehaus, and he stole it. And then he made sure not to step out of bounds. Nicely done by Niehaus. Taylor from right to left and white. Niehaus goes end to end. He's fouled and 1 as Niehaus gets the steal and then ushers his way in for an and 1 coming. 4 in a row for Niehaus, and he's hoping to make it 5. Foul on Frankie Davidson, who had his back turned to the hard-charging Niehaus. And that also is the 7th one against Grace, and Taylor putting the 1 and 1 with 9:24 to go second half. Niehaus's first free throw, though, left short. So it's just a 53-51 Taylor advantage, and that and 1 has brought some juice back to Odell Arena. Gibbs gets away from Baher. Nice backdoor cut to Wadding, who lays it in with a right hand. Taylor was focused on the storming Grace player near side, and now the game level at 53 as Wadding snuck in from behind. Good second half for Wadding, 7 of his 9 here after halftime. Now he guards Clayton. Clayton measuring out to Yoon. Niehaus pops help near side. Baher steps into a 3 ball, and it's off the near side of the rim. It's rebounded by Grace, and Gibbs will fly up the floor. 53 all with less than 9 to go second half. Deaton trying to get going. His 3 halfway down, and nope, hits the floor, and it's picked up off the floor by Zach Baher. Deaton's had a terrible day shooting, just 1 of 4, and now 0 of 2 from 3 for their top scorer at 15 tonight. Still 53 all with 8:33 to go in the second half. Taylor moves everybody out as Grace presses out in their man-to-man. Yoon to the far side, back near side to Hahn, left it short. Deaton intercepts. He'll race to the other end, slapped on the arm by Hahn. A terrible mistake by Hahn as Deaton dunks it and will go for the line at an and 1. Taylor has made some just perplexing decisions today 2 fouls on and ones. They've fallen asleep on backdoor cuts, and they've had plenty of telegraph passes here today. Second one on Hahn, 5th one against Taylor in the half. Clayton and Yoon exit. Miranda and Pena back in for Taylor. Deaton to the line for 2 free throws. He's having his worst year shooting the free throws at just 57%. We'll see if he can convert the and one here after the dunk. Nope. He yells at himself as Pena hauls in the rebound, his 9th of the afternoon. Taylor down by a deuce, 55-53. After the Niehaus and one, then missed the free throw. They could have put him up by 1. Slipping and falling is Deaton as he couldn't get the ball away from Baher, who maneuvers his way in. He's caught on the left block. Into Pena, turns, bangs with Malone trying to go up and under. CJ scoops, got hit on the head with no foul. And here comes Grace the other way. Another missed call by the guys in stripes. Deaton perimeter left. Bangs with Hahn on the baseline up top to the trailing Gibbs. A lefty 3. A sidewinder is swished. Just the second made 3 of the day for Grace. And Gibbs gets his first one. He's got 14. And it's a game-high lead of 5 for Grace at 58-53. That'll force a Taylor full timeout with 7:45 to go here in the second half as the mistakes by Taylor are starting to mount here in the last few moments. Make it just a 30-second Taylor timeout.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Regular season home finale for Taylor today. They're down by 5, trying to stop this 7-0 spurt here by the Lancers. Miranda almost lost it as Gill tracks him down near the line, and then he falls. Oh, and they're going to call Gill for the foul. That's a rough one for Grace to take. Second on Gill. Taylor already in the 1-and-1 bonus. Grace head coach Scott Moore already onto the field with his assistant Stephen Halstead, their play-by-play announcer a year ago. And the dead ball brings us to a media timeout. With 7:35 to go second half, Miranda will have a 1-and-1 when we get back, with Taylor down 58-53.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 5 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $150, all the way up to the Trojan MVP level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Grace on a 7-0 run. They lead by 5, 58-53, on the back of an 11 for 18 shooting performance. Here in the second half, they've pushed their average for the game up to 51%. And Taylor hoping for not to have another repeat of what happened against Mount Vernon Nazarene 2 games ago, where the Cougars came out and shot the lights out in the second half and put that game away early in a game that they had played well in the first half. Miranda, a 1-and-1 here, his first free throws of the day. 75% this season. Remember, he missed the front end of a 1-and-1 that could have pushed the Taylor lead to 3 last week against Bethel. This one long off the back rim, and the free throw woes continue for the Trojans. They're now just 6 of 8 from the line today, but Niehaus and Miranda have missed the last 2 in a row after Taylor made their first 6. 7-0 run for Grace. They lead by 2. 7:20 to go second half. Taylor could really use a stop in the worst way possible. Man-to-man for Taylor. Deaton looks Malone's way. Here comes a double from Hubbard to help out Pena. Into traffic, Wadding, no-look dish near side to Gill, who angles away from Pena and lays it in. Taylor's so focused on Malone. He's a great passer and deals it whenever he wants. It's now a 9-0 Grace burst, and they lead by a game high of 7 with 7 minutes remaining in the second half. McLeod gets it as Malone pokes at it. Inside the arc, near side, McLeod fakes a long 2. Step back, fadeaway 10-footer, nope, as Taylor has not seemed to have their legs here in the second half. Rebounded by Gill up top. He'll carry to the near side, his 4th carom of the day. He walks to the middle of the floor. Taylor in the man-to-man defense. Malone right block. Pena will take him one-on-one. Hubbard there to help, now collapses. Wadding fakes and goes down the lane, rising over Hubbard. That's an easy charge. We're going the other way. Hubbard was 3 feet outside the restricted area, set those feet. Wadding jumped into him. And that's the second one on Wadding, but more importantly, with 6:33 to go in the second half, that's number 9 against Grace. The next one on the Lancers puts Taylor in the double bonus. Taylor has not scored since that Niehaus end-to-end and one after a steal to put the Trojans up 53-51. Since then, it's been 9 unanswered by Grace. Man-to-man for the Lancers as Hubbard turns and faces the basket. He's had a rough day shooting, going 4 of 13. McLeod near side arc off to Pena. Hand off to Hubbard. Measuring a 3, trying to get going. No, front rim. And Taylor now 5 of 16 from downtown today as the shooting woes continue with 6:07 remaining second half. Still a 7-point Grace lead. Wadding on a backdoor cut. Gill couldn't get it to him. Deaton cutting around. He'll catch on the high post right side. McLeod backs him down. Left hand goes up. Got on the arm. And has an and one coming for Deaton, who has come to life after being quiet through the majority of this game so far. Second and one opportunity for Deaton. He missed the free throw last time. He'll try to correct that wrong here. It's now an 11-0 run for Grace. Ever since that Niehaus missed free throw, they could have put Taylor up by 3. It's been all Lancers since, with 5:56 remaining. Deaton's free throw, good. 7 for Deaton. 3 of 6 from the floor, but has come to life here in the second half. First double-figure lead for either team today. It's a 63-53 Grace lead. They're on a 12-0 run with 5:45 to go in the second half. Pena inside the arc, bullets one far side. Miranda, catch and shoot 3 ball. No, halfway down and out, but rebounded by Furman. Back to Miranda, who fakes a 3 and keeps the dribble alive. Low pass to Hubbard. He snatches away from Wadding. Launches from 18 feet. Nope, up off the basket support, and that will send it back to Grace. Taylor cannot find the bottom of the hoop here in these last handful of minutes. It's a 12-0 Grace run. They've turned a 2-point deficit into a 10-point lead. Full timeout on the floor for Taylor. With 5:31 to go here in the second half, Grace leading 63-53.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
It is a 3-minute and 55-second scoring drought for Taylor. They've missed 6 straight shots and 2 free throws ever since starting with that missed and one opportunity from Grant Niehaus. Since then, Grace has scored 12 unanswered. I don't know if they've missed a shot during this run, and they lead by 10 with 5:30 to go second half as Taylor turns up the pressure in the backcourt, with now Furman trying to trap Gill with the help of Miranda. Gill in trouble, 2 seconds to go, through in the air. Pena trying to knock it away. Deaton keeps it away. It's a 3-on-none for Malone, who dunks it with 2 hands. 14 for Malone, and the pain keeps coming as the Trojans down by 12. 65-53. Crossing over Miranda, steps into the air, near side Furman. Errant pass that Caden was able to haul in. Down the right side of the lane goes Hubbard, steps, fakes, threw it into McLeod, and that's the second time a Taylor player has passed up an open shot, tried to pass it off to McLeod, who had his eyes set for a rebound. Third turnover during this stretch for Taylor, trying to stop the scoring for Grace. As they're on a 14-0 onslaught with 4:43 and counting second half, they lead by 12. Gibbs down the lane on Furman, goes up, missed the shot, tapped into the air. Pena has the miss to complete the double-double. CJ trying to go end-to-end, goes into Malone, throw it up onto the glass, no good. Trying to get a foul that didn't come. Wadding leaking out for Grace. Furman tries a challenge, and then Wadding dunks it with a right hand over Furman. An aggressive dunk for Wadding as the Trojans just cannot get anything to go. They've missed 7 straight shots, and they're on the end of a 16-0 Grace run. Pena's three finally ends the scoring drought, gets him to 20 points, and the Trojans back down by 11 with 4:06 to go here in the second half. The pressure on in the backcourt. Gibbs will get it back from Gill. Taylor needs to start stringing some defensive stops there. Furman collides with Gibbs. There'll be a two-hand check on Furman, his second, and number 7 against Taylor, and now free throws here for Grace, with 3:55 to go in half number 2. Eerily similar to what happened to Grace Wednesday against Marion, where they went scoreless for 2 minutes. The Trojans went 4 minutes plus without a basket, and Grace turned a 2-point hole into a 14-point lead. Gibbs makes the front end of the 1-and-1 with one more to come. It was a 16-0 burst for Grace to go ahead by 14, and now lead by 13 after the 2 Gibbs free throws. 16 for Jacob Gibbs with 3:55 to go second half. Grace has a 13-point lead as they try to split the season series with Taylor, but more importantly, stay out of the 8th seed in the Crossroads League tournament.
Play that old song. You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to evoke the memory. You got to have the music that you listen to.
.55 to go here in the second half. Taylor went 5 minutes and 15 seconds without a basket. And at that time, Grace turned a 2-point deficit at 53-51 into a lead of 67-53. Hubbard, Baher, Miranda, McLeod, and Furman, the 5 out there for Taylor. As they go from right to left in white, down by 13 with 3:45 to go second half. Skipping, Miranda tapped in one intended for Baher. Taylor's has not been on the same page all day. Baher's 3 is an air ball off target left. He'll go out of bounds and goes back to Grace. Baher 0 of 3 from 3 today. Taylor now 6 of 19. But the Trojans have been outscored 50-22 in the paint. Baher out, McLeod back in by Grace. 14 from Malone, 14 from Davidson, 16 from Gibbs. And the majority of those have been in the paint today with, again, 50 of the 19 points for Grace inside the painted area. The Lancers accelerate to the front court. The Trojans try to trap Gibbs far side. He throws one into the baseline, and Malone drops it down to Wadding. Goes up. McLeod got him on the arm, and another and one opportunity here for Grace. Wadding, the 4th Lancer in double figures. He's got 11. The foul against Taylor's James McLeod. And the 8th one against Taylor. It's a 71-56 Grace lead. Says that 9:26 mark. Grace has outscored Taylor 20 as the front end of the free throw missed by Wadding. They've outscored Taylor 20-3. The place was going nuts as a Niehaus end-to-end steal, and then an and one. Put Taylor ahead 53-51. Pena off balance three. Nope. Back rim. Deaton's got it. Gill out racing everyone else. He'll go up for a right hand dunk. And it's 73-56, Grace, as they've blown this thing open here in the last 6 minutes. With 3:03 to go, it is all Grace right now. They're now shooting 55% from the floor. Taylor does not seem to be on the same page a lot today. Got to the league logo. Did Hubbard? Nope. Missed it long. Poked away. Free. Furman spins it away from trouble. Crossover dribble. Long to right side. Nope. Another one misses it. The Taylor shooting percentage dips into the low 30s. Malone with the rebound as he palms the ball in his right hand. How about this stat line for the big man? 14 points, 6 rebounds, and a career-high 6 assists. And a foul called against Taylor's C.J. Pena. 9th one against the home team as the Trojans trying to force Grace to make some free throws here. They're the 3rd worst free throw shooting team in the league at 71%. Today they are 7 of 10, a 1-1 here for Gibbs, who is 3 for 4 today. He's made 3 in a row, and now he's made 4 in a row. 17 for Gibbs following that career-high 24 that he had in the loss Wednesday to Marion. And this one is good as well, a 19-point Grace lead, 18 points for Gibbs, 74-56. The Lancer advantage with 2:33 remaining here in the second half. Right side arc Pena, Deaton guards him. Left hand back down Pena, got into Deaton's body, couple head fakes, float shot good from the baseline right. 22 for C.J. Pena, who's been the bright spot for Taylor offensively today. At 75-58, Grace, and then Hubbard gets called for the reach-in as Gibbs tried to pirouette away. First one on Jason, 10th one against Taylor. Double bonus time here for Grace. The game turned on the Niehaus and one that broke a 51-all tie at the 9:26 mark. Taylor then went scoreless for the next 5 minutes and 15 seconds as Gibbs rolls in the first free throw. And in that time frame, Grace went on a 16-0 run and have not looked back since. And Gibbs will miss the second free throw, remains at 19. It's a 76-58 Grace advantage with 2:13 to go here in the second half. Pena throws it in to Coach Stan Doherty on the front row. On the bench across from us, Taylor gives it away for the 14th time tonight. Gill out for the Lancers. Davidson back in for the visitors. The two stats to look at, the 5-minute 15-second scoring drought for Taylor. The Trojans got dominated in the paint today, 54-22. Furman steals it away, goes up, two-hand dunk. So he took it away from Gibbs. Second field goal for Furman. He hit a 3 on the opening possession of the game, and since then he missed his next 4 shots. 16-point lead for the Lancers with 1:50 to go in the second half. Davidson trying to get away from Miranda, picks it up and floats it near side to Deaton. Double team there with Hubbard and Miranda. And a timeout called before Deaton could get tied up. The possession error was in the favor of the Trojans. Good job by second-year head man Scott Moore. They have 1 30-second timeout left, and Grace will take it. They lead by 16 with 1:43 to go here in the second half.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
The ball movement for Grace today has been great as they lead by 16 with 1:43 to go. They have assisted on 21 of their 32 baskets today, 7 by Frankie Davidson. That ties a career high for the sophomore. 6 for Elijah Malone, their 6'9 center. That's a career high for him. 4 for Jacob Gibbs and 5 for Eddie Gill and 5 for Jake Wadding. The 5 ties a career high for Wadding. Second game in a row he's done that. Gibbs got into Furman's body, missed the shot. No. Malone gets it in. His shot was swatted away by McLeod, but either he or Pena will be called for the foul. It's on C.J. Pena. That's number 4 against him. Grace already in the double bonus. Malone to the line for 2 free throws. His first trip today was 4 of 7 last time out, but shooting just 67% this year. Straight lines the first one home. 15 for Malone. As the Trojans will pull Vincent Miranda and James McLeod, their final regular season home game. The Odell Arena gives them a standing ovation. Second free throw made by Malone. Hubbard goes end to end, finishes at the rim over Malone for 2. 10 for Hubbard. But it's all just window dressing right now as Gill double teamed in the backcourt, and Grace takes a timeout with 1:19 remaining second half, leading by 15. It'll be a full timeout. They have 1 remaining. They lead 77-62, 1:19 remaining here in the second half.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
The Grace Lancers have been a runaway freight train here in the second half of the second half. They held Taylor scoreless for 5 minutes and 15 seconds, turned a 2-point deficit into a 14-point lead and have not looked back since. They have the ball in the backcourt here after the timeout. Pressure put on by the Trojans. Wadding has it. And Gibbs will be guarded by Furman in the backcourt. 3 seconds to get it across, and he does. As we have 70 seconds left to go, Grace leading by 15. They've dominated the paint today. Furman pokes it away from Gibbs. Did this second time. He goes in 2-on-1 with Pena, tried to throw the lob, and Wadding smacked it out of play. Grace shooting beautifully from the floor at 54%. Gill back in to replace Davidson. 62 seconds left to go. Yoon will get it in far baseline as the Trojans will fall to 11-12 on the year and 5-10 in the Crossroads League, almost certainly locking themselves into the 8th seed and having to go face Indiana Wesleyan in the first round of the Crossroads League tournament. Hubbard, bully ball, dunks it over Wadding for 2. 12 for Hubbard, who's been quiet today, just 6 of 18 from the floor. Furman in the backcourt, and now Wadding and Hubbard exchanging words. Third one on Furman. Grace already in the double bonus, leading by 13, 77-64 with 50.6 seconds left to go. Gibbs at the line today, 6 of 8. 19 points for him on 6 of 13 shooting. Rattles in the first one. And even 20 for Gibbs to lead the Lancers today. Pena and Hubbard check out their final regular season home game. Baher and Clayton come in to spell them. And the second one for the redshirt freshman, the lefty Jacob Gibbs. 21 for him, 8 of 10 from the stripe today. And it's back to a 15-point Grace lead. Furman, long three or high right side, rolls that one home. Second triple of the day for Caden Furman, 8 points for the freshman out of Ohio. Taylor down by 12 with 40 seconds left. Grace able to break the backcourt pressure. Deaton will kill time here. About 13 seconds between game and shot clock. Gibbs against Niehaus, down the lane. Niehaus got him from behind, tried to poke it away. And free throws, a cup coming again here for Grace. First one on Niehaus, and 2 free throws for Gibbs once again as he can add to his free throw total. And Gibbs will swish the first of 2 here. 22 for him after coming off that career high 24 Wednesday in the loss to Marion. Last 4 games, he scored at least 14 points, and now 4 out of the last 5. Has shot 60% from the floor, and he continued to dazzle today. 10 of 12 from the line on 6 of 13 shooting for the redshirt freshman Jacob Gibbs. 14-point Taylor Hole, 81-67. Furman drives on Jennings. Left-hand scoop will spin off. Rebound is Gibbs is underneath, his 5th. And the shot clock turned off with 14 seconds left. Grace will split the season series, but more importantly, they snapped their 3-game losing streak and will stay out of the 8th seed of the Crossroads League tournament. Taylor most certainly will be the 8th seed and have to go take on Indiana Wesleyan coming up in a couple of weeks. A sour senior day for the Trojans for the final home game, it looks like, as of now, for Vincent Miranda and James McLeod. Final today, Grace defeats Taylor 81-67. We'll take a break and we'll come back with the Ivanhoe's post-game show after this here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Yeah, our first year doing Day of Giving was an incredible success last year. We were able to raise over $60,000 that went directly to our individual programs. And that's been the goal of it from the beginning, is giving our alumni, parents, supporters a chance to give directly to the teams that have impacted their lives. So we're hoping for an even bigger day this year and even more participation. I think I was pleasantly surprised at just the number of people who gave. Not everybody is writing a massive check, and we know these are difficult times, but just to see the number of people, the number of young alumni that gave anything. They gave $5, they gave $50, they gave any amount of money, and I think it just, for all of our coaches, I think I speak on behalf of everyone to say we're just proud at the engagement and the number of people that just wanted to be involved. And we have some competitions here in the department of the highest percentage of alumni that give. We have a bonus for those sports, and I think that's what it is. It's just instead of kind of asking at different times or having people send stuff at random times, it's like, hey, let's just pick a day and let's ask people to be a part of it, and it's something we can all do together.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Play that old song. You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to evoke the memory. You got to have the music that you listen to.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Back inside Odell Arena, a somber one as Taylor unable to pick up the win today. Excuse me. Here on Senior Day as Grace dominates the paint. And they win today by a final of 81-37. They led by 1 at the halftime break, 31-30. And they outscored Taylor 50-37 in the second half, including a 30-14 margin after Taylor took their last lead of the game at 53-51. Here's how the game happened. We'd mentioned the 1-point lead at halftime. The second half got going back and forth the whole majority of that first half, the first 10 minutes plus of play. Grant Niehaus got a steal, raced to the other end of the floor, got an and-one layup to break a 51-all tie. He missed the and-one free throw opportunity. That would be the start of Taylor's undoing in the second half. Very next possession, a backdoor cut, which hurt Taylor in the second half today by Jake Wadding, got in for a layup to tie the game at 53. The Trojans turned it over on the next possession. Hayden Deaton read a telegraph pass, went in for a dunk. Aaron Hahn fouled him on the arm. Deaton slammed it home and then missed the free throw. Still just 58-53 in favor of Grace. Then a three by Jacob Gibbs forced a Taylor timeout. It was a 58-53 Grace lead. The Trojans would go scoreless for 5 minutes and 15 seconds after that Niehaus and one, seeing their 2-point lead evaporate and finding themselves down by 14, 67-53 on the back of a 16-0 Grace burst before CJ Pena's three-point shot made it an 11-point game. But then free throws came right back for Grace. They led 69-56 and were not challenged after that. Points in the paint, 54-28 in favor of Grace today, including 30-14 in the decisive second half. The Lancers shot 54% for the game, 65% after halftime. They made just 2 threes today, going 2 of 14, but they didn't need it. It's how dominant they were inside. Grace went to the line 20 times, made 15 of them. All the free throw attempts for both teams came in the second half after neither team attempted one in the first half. Taylor shot about the same in each of the two halves, about 38-38, 39%. They finished 39% from the game. Taylor made just 7 of their 21 threes, and they were 6 of 8 from the line. That is 9 free throws lower than their season average on attempts. 4 in double figures today for Grace. Only 7 guys played. All of them scored. They were led by Jacob Gibbs, who had 23 points, second game in a row where he has put up 20-plus. He had a career-high 24 in the loss to Marion Wednesday. Gibbs scored 15 of his 23 in the second half as he did the majority of his damage from the line. He scored 10 of his 13 second-half points from the stripe, going 10 of 12 in the second half. He was 6 of 13 from the floor. Elijah Malone turned in a stellar game today, the 6'9 center, 15 points on 7 of 12 shooting. He came in averaging just 9 points per game. He also had a career-high 6 assists. Other double-figure scores, 14 for Frankie Davidson on 6 of 11 shooting. Jake Wadding missed just 1 shot today. It was a 3-point try. Outside of that, he was 6 of 6 from inside the arc. He finished with 13. 7 for their senior Hayden Deaton, who was plagued with fouls for the majority of the day, but he had the key dunk on an and-one dunk off a steal that gave Grace the lead for good at 55-53. 6 for Eddie Gill IV and 3 for Matt Jennings. Off the bench for both of those two young men. Taylor played 11 guys today. 3 got to double figures, 1 got to 20, and that was CJ Pena for the 7th game in a row. He scores at least 20. CJ had 22 points on 9 of 16 shooting. He only had 9, though, after halftime. He also was 2 of 5 from 3. Jason Hubbard had 12 points, 8 in the second half. It was a rough shooting day for Jason, going 6 for 18. And 10 points for James McLeod on his senior day. He was 5 for 12 overall. 8 for Caden Furman. Vincent Miranda had 6. Those were all in the first half today. So Vincent 11 points away from 1,000 for his career, with 1 regular season game left and 1 tournament game left, at least, coming up in the next 2 weeks. 2 points for Zach Baher, both on free throws, 3 for Gavin Yoon, and 4 for Grant Niehaus. Playing without scoring today for the Trojans were Keegan Owen, Jeff Clayton, and Aaron Hahn. Taylor won the rebounding battle today against the top rebounding team in the Crossroads League and the 14th best rebounding team in the country. Grace came in averaging 8 more rebounds per game than their opponents. Today the Trojans got the edge by 4, 40-36, including 16-7 on the offensive glass. The Trojans also had the advantage in second chance points, 12-4. But that rebounding margin and the offensive rebound choice, an offensive rebound advantage, just not enough for Taylor today. Top rebounder for the Trojans was C.J. Pena with a game-high 11. That is C.J.'s 6th double-double of the year. 8 as well for Jason Hubbard, 5 for James McLeod. Top rebounders for Grace were Davidson and Malone, each with 7, 5 for Gibbs, and 5 for Eddie Gill, and 5 for Watting to round out a spread-out rebounding charge today for the Lancers. Grace moved the ball beautifully today. 21 assists on 32 baskets, a career-high 6 from the 6'9 center Elijah Malone, 4 for Hayden Deaton. Each of those guys only turned it over once today. Taylor assisted on just 9 of their 27 hoops today, and had just 4 in the second half. Their top assist man today was 2 from C.J. Pena. No one with more than 1 after C.J. Taylor turned it over 14 times today. That led to 4 Grace points. Grace gave it away 11 times. Taylor got 2 points off of the Grace gifts. 3 blocks, 2 for Hubbard for the Trojans today. 4 blocks for Grace, 3 of them by Watting. 9 steals for the Lancers, 3 guys with 2, Gibbs, Watting, and Gill the fourth. Taylor had 6 steals. Furman had a pair to his name today. Other numbers to note, the bench scoring was limited from both sides today. Taylor had 9 bench points. Grace had 9 as well. The Lancers had 6 in the second half. Taylor had 9 in the second half. Points in the paint, we already mentioned it, but we'll hammer it one more time. Grace 54 points in the paint today to Taylor's 28. The Lancers had 54 of their 81 points in the painted area today. And we already talked about second chance points and points off of turnovers. Other scores of note from around the Crossroads League, Indiana Wesleyan beats Bethel by 20, 103-83 after being tied at halftime. Marion beats Huntington by 20, 80-60 on the road. And Mount Vernon Nazarene beats Goshen by 30, 98-68 for that game today. St. Francis is off. Spring Arbor obviously not playing in the Crossroads League this year due to COVID-19. The Trojans now need some help. They need to win their last game of the year, and they probably need St. Francis to lose out their last 3 games for a hope of not sitting in the 8th seed and taking on Indiana Wesleyan in the first round of the Crossroads League tournament. St. Francis is at Huntington Wednesday, or is at Huntington Monday. They're at Bethel Wednesday, and then Taylor and St. Francis lock horns coming up on Saturday. So the Trojans need 2 losses heading into that game Saturday by the Lancers, by the Cougars. The Trojans are now 2 games back of Grace with 1 game to go for both of those teams. Grace is playing Huntington next Saturday at home. And the Trojans now 2 games back of St. Francis, who are off today. The Trojans also 2 games back of Mount Vernon Nazarene. And Mount Vernon Nazarene has Marion Wednesday and Indiana Wesleyan Saturday. So there's a couple more routes for Taylor to get out of the 8th seed, but they're going to need some help and they're going to need some losses, and they have to win now Saturday at St. Francis. With the loss, Taylor now 11-12 on the year, 5-10 in the Crossroads League. Grace improves to 14-10. They're now 7-8 in league action. The loss snaps a 3-game losing streak for the Lancers. The Trojans' losing skid now falls to 4, or now moves to 4. In all likelihood, without some help like we saw a season ago, this will be the final home game for Taylor's seniors, Vincent Miranda and James McLeod. I just want to say it's been a pleasure to get to know them as young men. They are awesome, awesome guys. They've been a ton of fun to watch throughout their 4 years, and I will miss having the opportunity to call their games. I hope there's one more left. I thought it was donezo when Taylor lost to Indiana Wesleyan on senior day a year ago. And then we all remember that Mason Degenkolb 75-foot shot. Bethel upset Marion. And then that was the semifinal game here. That ended not how the Trojans won it, but we still had one more home game with the seniors. We hope that happens again. A little Crossroads League tournament magic for the Taylor Trojans. If not, this will be our final men's basketball broadcast of the year. It's been a weird one. I'm sure that's saying it lightly for everyone else in the times that we're living in. We're glad that you tuned in this year. This is our last men's basketball broadcast of the season. It's been a ton of fun. The guys are awesome. Coach Anderson and his staff are top-notch. They make my job very easy. They're a lot of fun to know. They're a lot of fun to be around. And hopefully when next year rolls around, we can spend a little more time with the guys and the coaching staff. Special thanks to Elias Seaman and Jacob Stonick, our crew today. Our executive producer of the Trojan Sports Network is, as always, Cameron Andre. Coach Andre and the golf team down in sunny Orlando right now. They get ready for the Champions Gate Invitational. That comes up Monday and Tuesday. And both of those teams, then the men and the women, prime for big springs here in 2021. Final score from here inside Odell Arena today. Grace ruins Taylor's senior day by dominating the paint 54-28, including 30-14 in the second half. They win 81-67, outscoring Taylor 50-37 after halftime. The Trojans are 11-12 on the year, 5-10 in the Crossroads League, and they're going to need some help to get out of the 8th seed and avoid Indiana Wesleyan in the Crossroads League tournament opening round, which will come up in about 2 weeks, a week from Wednesday to be exact. Our next broadcast of basketball will be coming up next Saturday. That will be senior day for the Taylor women's basketball team when they take on St. Francis at 1 o'clock here inside Odell Arena. The Taylor men's team wraps up their regular season a week from today at St. Francis with a 1 o'clock start time. Other scheduled events this week, baseball, maybe not. If you look at the calendar and the weather report, we're supposed to get like 9 inches of snow between Monday and Tuesday. The guys are down in Georgia right now taking on Reinhardt. We are scheduled to have baseball next Friday and Saturday when they take on Judson. So stay tuned to TaylorTrojans.com for all the latest information on the baseball schedule for this upcoming week. And the Trojans and us here at Taylor Athletics will also be hosting the women's indoor track and field championships coming up next Friday and Saturday. We'll have all the coverage from the opening race to the last race, starting Friday and ending Saturday. From about 10 to 6, we'll have that for you here on the Trojan Sports Network. We'll also have women's basketball next Saturday as well. Once again, our final score from here inside Odell Arena, Grace ruins Taylor's senior day by defeating the Trojans 81-67. Taylor sits at 11-12 on the year, 5-10 in the Crossroads League with one more game to go. The Trojans will be at St. Francis next Saturday. They need some help next week, and they need a win next Saturday to get out of the 8th and final Crossroads League tournament spot and to avoid Indiana Wesleyan. We'll see what happens. This league has been crazy good this year, and it's lived up to the billing here today once again. This has been a presentation of Taylor Men's Basketball on the Trojan Sports Network. We say goodnight and have a great rest of your weekend from here in Upland, Indiana.